Welcome to the SBR Sim-Racing Decallabs Trackaddict GT3 season, this season 6 and round number 6. This is the penultimate round of the championship. We're here at St-Croix B. I don't know if I pronounced that right. It's somewhere in France. Fictional track in GT Sport. You've just recently seen the grid layout. As you can see, Jake Hill on pole position, followed by Nathan Tomkinson in second. The championship is up for grabs. Obviously, we got the endurance race to deal with first before the finale of the sprint race. 18 laps of this 4.39 mile long circuit, 14 corners, 9 left and 5 right. There's only one way to find out what happens, and that is watch the race and see what happens. See, this is St-Croix B2, which means it's the reverse layout as the revs build up. We're green at St-Croix for the first time of 18. We head to the first corner. Jake Hill has Tomkinson alongside. Tomkinson just nipping into the lead. He's got the inside line for turn 1, and yeah, the start of Tomkinson, so he didn't really get the best camera angle from the back of the grid. Good enough to keep the lead from Hill through turn 1 as they head up through to turn 2, 3 and 4, this little S section. Looks like we've got away cleanly though. We've got Ben Milden with Hardy behind, and Chris Clements now in the Alfa Romeo as a filler. Rob Bristow not able to make this round, so Clements operating the Alfa Romeo under the number 15 as Hardy makes the move on Milden. Gets it all out of shape though. That's coming out of 5. Milden gets back through, and Clements is also looking around the outside as they go through turn 6 and up towards turn 7. They complete the second sector with Tomkinson still in the lead. This is where the GTR comes into zone. This top speed from Hardy. Can't quite get the move to the inside of Milden into turn 7, but equally he manages to keep Clements behind. Further back, that's Edwards. There's Edwards as they come onto the bridge, and Sean Cole having an issue onto the bridge. He's dropping like a stone. Edwards trying to keep McEwen at bay as they head towards turns 9 and 10. It's off camber, 90 left. So sweeping at 90 right. Still side by side. They've also got Hancock's behind for good measure. Into 12 and 13. Still side by side between Edwards and McEwen. Into the final corner, and Hill has actually taken the lead of this race whilst these two have been battling as McEwen takes 7th place away from Edwards as the cars come through the final corner. And here comes Hancock's now, looking to turn 1. Can't quite get the move done. It looks like Tomkinson under a bit of pressure here. He's in the championship fight along with his teammate, but that's Adams who's now got through into second place, and Ben Milden not too far behind in the Porsche, and he'll quite happily bring along Clements, who has got past Hardy. There's McEwen. Hancock still on the back of Edwards, and then Piper leads the next group. He's got Cole behind, followed by Matthew Ellis in the number 4 Jägermeister car. And look at the speed the BMW has with the slipstream. He's almost trying to get past Adam Piper, not quite working as Sean Cole makes the move up into 10th, and that is Hogan trying to go around the outside of Ellis as they now head up towards turn 8 onto the bridge. Oh, that looks like Brian Ross going a bit wide into turn 8. It's not the widest of tracks here at St-Croix. Ellis though Now on the outside, heading towards turn 9. Can't make the move, but Hogan down the inside, trying to go around the out of 10. Giving the inside for 11, and Ellis into the wall. So Ellis down to 14th now, behind Will Friedman. He's only got the 2 puppies cars. Oh, that's a bit of an interesting move from Brian Ross, sending one to the inside of turn 12. Doesn't get any sort of advantage out of it though. In fact, he's about to go for a little bit run wide as they enter turn 14, as we head on to lap number 3. Remember, the guys must use racing medium tyres for a quarter of this race, so I think 4 or 5 laps roughly. See, over 2 minutes a lap. It's one of the longer circuits of the calendar. Tomlinson down the inside of Adams into turn 5. Looks like that Nissan is starting to struggle, but he's going to get him back through turn 6 up towards turn 7 because of the straight line speed of the Nissan. Tomlinson having another little look into 7 to try and get back past. Can't quite make it work. Hill currently in the lead of this race on lap number 3. And Milden now attacking Tomkinson, trying to go around the outside of turn 8. Very ambitious move from Milden, but putting the pressure on the AMG man. The number 27 Coca-Cola Porsche, as they enter turn 9. And Jake Hill is getting away. Adams trying to set foot a chase here, but that Mercedes really not being as dominant as it has been throughout this season. And Hardy's just nipped past Milden through turn 11. Number 18 Trackaddict car. Clements is gradually closing up to them. There is Hancock's. He's ahead of Cool. Cool on the racing soft tyres, as is Hancock's. Lewis Edwards started on the mediums, and this is why he's probably not as competitive as he normally is at the start. Starting the race on the mandatory medium compound. So not the most amount of grip, but it will hold out for a good solid few laps. McEwen down in 10th. He's not had the best of times in that Alfa Romeo in the recent races. There is Dean Milden with Matthew Ellis and Brian Ross. Friedman is down to 14th, with Adam Piper 15th, and Hogan currently sat in 16th place. Milden starting to come under attack here from Clements, and the number 15 Alfa Romeo. On board with the Alfa as we head down to turn number 7. Towards the bridge. Across the bridge. Milden still looking at Hardy at the moment as they come down towards turn 9 off the bridge. It's really off camber. 90 left can really catch you out if you don't quite get it right. Up through an 11. It's really long double apex left hand, and then you hit the brakes just as you reach the crest. Down to 3rd into turn 12. Quite a tight right hander. Got to be patient with the throttle on that one. And flat through 13 up towards the final corners. This is about the open section of the racetrack really. Hit the brakes about 60 to 75 metres, and you can put a couple of wheels on that green stuff. If not vice versa. Milden clips the ball on the exit. That's going to slow him down. Down towards turn 1 we go. Can Clements capitalise? He's looking down the inside for the move. No, backs out of it. Decides he's going to try another time. Tompkinson all over the back of Adams here for second place. Oh, always nervous when the cars start doing that, start twitching after clipping a bit of gravel or a curb. Tompkinson looking for any sort of opening against that GTR, and this might be where he gets it, but that GTR is going to be quick in a straight line. Yeah, look at that thing go. Doesn't matter how good your car is through the corners, if you've got a big straight afterwards, don't even bother. That thing will outdrag anything. See this race been done before the latest update of GT Sport, which I believe had nerfed the Nissan GTR. So this is going on the older values. So they head to the bridge section for the 5th time. I'm expecting a few people to be pitting this lap. To either get rid of their super softs and go on to mediums, or get rid of the mediums. I mean, ideally you kind of want to do this in 3 stints. You want to try and come in on laps 6 and 12. But the tyres will not enjoy it, that's for certain. So look a bit further down the field. Sean Call's up into 6th. There is Hardy, he's gone down to 8th. So something's happened with him, maybe he's just clipped the wall. And McEwen 9th, there is Edwards in 10th. And there is Alice. He's got Ross behind him for company. Well, Friedman is in 14th, just behind that, with Hogan, who I think has recently pitted, and Adam Piper, who has pitted, as Tompkinson is in the lead. So Hill and Adams have both come in the pits, as has Ben Milden. There we go. So, as I suspected, some people coming in. Hill coming in for the medium compounder tyre. Now, we've seen Hill do it before, where he's gone 2 stints on the mediums. So, I wonder if he's going to do it again here. He almost backs the car in, trying to get past Hancock's. See, Hancock's yet to pit. He is currently on Part 1 soft tyres. But you'd have to think Tompkinson isn't going to have a choice but to react here, because if he doesn't, the undercut on this game is huge. Hancock pretty much just letting Hill go through there. He knows that's not his fight, there's no point fighting it and losing time. He's going to have Adams behind him shortly. There's McEwen, he's up to 6th at the moment, he's ahead of Edwards still. Edwards obviously starting on that medium compound, doing a really nice job. Through turn 11. Question is, does Tompkinson come in the pits? You just get this feeling he's not going to have a choice. The undercut will be so powerful, he'll lose more if he doesn't pit, you'd have thought. And it looks like he's carrying on. So Tompkinson goes on for another lap. Clements does come in the pits though. As we are continuing to watch Edwards and McEwen as they both pit now. Meanwhile, Hill has lost a little bit of time, probably because Adams is on the super soft tyres compared to Hill's mediums. As they head through the S's of turns 2, 3 and 4. There's Ben Milden, still ahead of Clements. There's Hardy ahead of Cool. Cool now on the soft tyres. There's D Milden, he's up to 8th and on a fresh set of medium compound tyres. Whereas you've got Edwards, Hancock's, and it looks like Liam McEwen has struggled here in the pit stop phase. He's lost out to Edwards and Hancock's by the looks of things. Or at least McEwen's not been able to get Hancock's in the pit stop phase. But as we all know, that Alfa Romeo on the mediums, not the best car on the planet. That's probably quite a fair statement. And Tompkinson just coming over the bridge. Adams has got past Hill. So that Nissan, obviously with the super soft tyres, will be quicker at this stage of the race. He'll probably just trying to work with him a little bit, try and catch up to Tompkinson. The field is spreading a little bit. There's Hancock's behind Edwards. Hancock's on a set of soft tyres, as is the number 52 McLaren in the Golf colours. And Tompkinson pits. So we're going to go back to the leaders for a couple of seconds. We're going to see how far does Tompkinson come behind these guys. So Adams still leads from Hill. Tompkinson goes on to the mediums, and there he is. He's now out of the pits. He's not massively far behind, but I think he has lost time because he was battling with Adams before the pit stop phases happen. Meanwhile, St-Croix is all over the back of Hardy as they head through the S's, and Hardy gets the back end going a little bit in the Nissan, not liking the compression. Keeps it in line. Sean not being able to find that gap yet. Probably very frustrating because he knows how quick that Mercedes can be. But round here, that Nissan is very, very good because of the long straights. It's got 3 big straights. I mean, and a couple of little ones as well. So as long as Hardy can manage the car through the corners, that thing will fly down the straight, and they are going to start catching Clements at a pretty decent rate of knots here. Clements on the medium tyres. Hardy and Cool chasing out, giving chase. Obviously, Hardy actually on the super soft tyres as they enter the bridge section for the 8th time. Off the bridge they go. It's going to be an interesting one to watch as we go on board with Korn. Trying to go around the outside there of turn 10. He's going to have difficulty through 11 and into 12 though. On board in the number 14 AMG Mercedes. As we catch up to the number 15 Alitalia Alfa Romeo of Clements. 2 cars ahead of us with the Trackaddict number 18 Nissan of Hardy. Oh, Hardy clips the wall. That's going to give the chance Cool's been looking for down the side. But can the Mercedes, does it have the grunt to keep him behind as they head into turn number 1? I think the Nissan still got his nose there. Not quite. Cool breaks a bit later, gets the move done. That was good patience from St-Croix. And the Mercedes this time not enjoying the compression on the curbing, as he is now trying to line up a move on Clements. See, Filler, his second outing this season. Last time out he was in the GoPro number 7 Mazda in replacement of Hogan. This week obviously in place of Bristow in the Alitalia Alfa Romeo camp, and unfortunately he's not got a lot to say about that Mercedes coming through. Mercedes on soft tyres, Alfa Romeo on mediums. Not a lot you can do. Meanwhile, at the front, Adams and Hill. Look like they're still working together a little bit, but I can see Adams probably having to pit this lap. You can see there on the bottom of your screen the fuel tank is getting low. So 295 miles on that Nissan. Good effort. Obviously, this race would be about the about the 90-mile mark, really. As both of them come in the pits. That's interesting. So both Hill obviously doing the absolute bare minimum on that medium compounder tyre. Milden now comes in. Cool. And Hardy looking to get past Clements. That's a Lexus in the background going for a pit. I think that's Dean Milden. And we're not going to go 3 wide. Surely not into turn 1. Hardy does get past Clements though. So call up into 3rd, and he's now having a good look at Adams. How long will he get though? He's just gone, oh my, that's a hell of a move from Sean Cool, round the outside of turn 2 into turn 3. The grip was there. Adams on the mediums, making it easier then for Cool, who's on the soft tyres. Oh, and Adams steps the rear out on the number 3 Nissan. Catches it just in time though. And the two Trackaddict Nissans now going side by side up towards turn number 7. I think Adam is probably going to let his teammate go on that one. Although Hardy clips the wall out of turn 7, and they got issues because Hill was right behind, but in reality Hill's getting quite a lot, it's been compromised here. He gets past Adams. This is not going to help the undercut that Hill was hoping for. He's just come out of this bit of traffic. And all of this is perfectly fine. This awful position, or bit of contact in the background. And I think we've just had a spinner. Yep, Clements goes round. It looked like there was a touch of contact in the background there. And the result was the number 15, Alatali Alfa Romeo, going round. Bit of a shame, he was running that car really nicely, was Clements. As Cool gets on the grass on the outside of turn 12 through 13. Tomkinson carries on. He goes on to lap 11. However, Sean Cool comes in the pits, number 14 comes in. Hardy also in. Jake Hill. There's Adams, followed by Lewis Edwards. He's got 1.5 second slowdown penalty. There's Hancock's with Ben Milden in 6th. McEwen is in 7th with Clements just going into 8th now. Jay Hardy's actually beaten Sean Cool in the pit stops. He's now onto the medium compounder tyre, as is Cool. So the pair of these looks like they're on a similar sort of strategy, but less fuel in the car maybe required for the Nissan. See how much fuel that Sean's put the car up into. And yeah, the Nissan only half filling. I wonder if Sean is maybe looking to basically fill up to the end of the race. And when he comes in, all he needs is a set of tyres. So the less you can do in a pit stop, the better. The Mercedes side by side with the Trackaddict Nissan. Hardy not being able to put up much of a fight in a straight line. That's unusual for the Nissan. Normally you'd bet on the Nissan to take that. Meanwhile, again, it's still no one at the front really in a position to make any moves. Clements is going to have the Mercedes of course behind him again. He's currently on the medium tyres, and it looks like it'll probably be another lap and he'll be arriving into the pits. As they head up the hill, Tomkinson comes in the pits. Here, this is going to be crucial. Let's back to the front. Where does Tomkinson come out? The leaderboard saying he's going to come out around 5th. Saying now 6th. There he is, Milden. Milden goes past, so yes, 6th for Tomkinson. He's got a fair bit of traffic to work through here because these guys haven't long been in the pits, and this is all for position. So Ben Milden will want to try and keep this for position as he goes through the compression. The Porsche a little bit nicer through that dip. Obviously the compression making the suspension basically compress a lot quicker than it would not otherwise, and it can cause the car to lose a little bit of control and traction, and cause a bit of instability, which is why you see some of the cars going through there and the back end starting to wobble because of that compression change. Up over the hill towards turn 7 with the Coca-Cola 27 Porsche, but again Tomkinson not in a position to do anything. Edwards has upgraded his penalty from 1.5 to 2 seconds, but Jake Hill is looking like the master of St-Croix so far. He's currently in 1st, and he's got a nice little gap to Adams. Further down it looks like Clements has come in the pits. Yes, he is. He's down in 11th. Fresh soft tyres in. But Hardy is under increasing pressure from the number 14 of Sean Court. The Trackaddict GTR doing a grand job of keeping one of the title contenders behind. And behind them is round 5 winner at Brands Hatch in the sprint race, Dean Milden. Actually, last night Brands Hatch in the sprint race, Dean starting near the front, controlled the field very well on a no-stop strategy. He's doing well here in the endurance race at St-Croix. And no one can quite get close enough to make a move in this little tussle. The rest of the grid fairly stacked. Hancock's is ahead of. He's into 5th. He's now passing. Hancock's now being passed by Tomkinson into turn 5. Someone has also come in the pits. Didn't really see who it was. Could well have been Clements. But we carry on. We are 13 laps into this 18-lap race. And this 4.39 mile long circuit. Tomkinson's going to be looking to try and get that Porsche. He knows he's quicker than it. I wonder if we can find out who's got the fastest lap of the race. 207s. There he is. Cool. It has got the fastest lap of the race so far. 2 minutes 7.314. And he's coming under increasing pressure from 8th man, Dean Milden. He's just dropped off the back of Hardy just a touch. And both these guys are mediums. But I'm fully expecting that Corn is going to come in the pits and only change tyres. He's still got half a tank left in the car as Hill comes in for what we can presume to be his final stop of the day, as does Adams. And Tomkinson goes through. He's got past Milden, which is an interesting Interesting thing. So Tomkinson getting through past the Porsche as these three still are having a good dice. He'll back out in third place, so free air, no traffic for him. And here comes Dean Milden down the inside of Sean Cool into the S's through the compression. Oh, both cars getting a little bit squirrely through the compression, but Dean Milden makes the move work down the inside of turn 2. Sean Cool, this is not where he needs to be with his teammate currently leading the race with possibly one more stop to go. This is not the ideal situation for the AMG Motorsport man. Dean is on the soft tyre, so he is quicker. Cool, looking to get right back at him. On board again with the Mercedes. In front of us, the number 22 Poppies Lexus. See the front end bouncing around, trying to find a bit of grip. They head down towards turn 12. On the Lexus of Milden. It's a little bit of a tap from behind, like a I want to try and help you out, because in reality, as Ben Milden now comes into the pits, so Jake Hill goes up into second place, and yes, all three of these cars into the pits. That's the gap. Super soft tyres for Hill, soft tyres for Tomkinson. Edwards has Milden behind. Now Milden, I am fully expecting to be on, he's on soft tyres. Fresh set of soft tyres. As he heads through the S's. Out of 5 up towards 6 and then down to 7. Porsche, you'd like to think, should get past. There's Hancock's in 6th. Cool. It has, yes, done exactly what I thought he would. He's put in probably a minimal amount of fuel to just make sure he can get through to the end of this race, but he's had to put no fuel in, which means his stop was less time, and he's jumped Jay Hardy in the pits. Looks like Dean put in even a touch more fuel than that in of Hardy. This is the thing with the pits, you can probably lose about 2 seconds in the pits by trying to fill up longer, but you gain that back massively in another pit stop, because the thing is, you have to put in a certain amount of fuel for your stint, but if you just decide to wait 2-3 seconds longer, put the extra fuel in, you won't have to put any fuel in for the next stop, and obviously the fuel only happens after your tyres have been fitted. So it's additional time on top, and that is why Cool has got such a big advantage over Hardy through the pit stop phase. Last time around though, Tomkinson lost 0.6 of a second to Hill. The Jägermeister BMW M6 is closing on the AMG Mercedes. There's Adams in third, and Milden down the inside of turn 5 of Edwards. The number 52 Golf McLaren can't do much about the Porsche at the moment, although he's got good traction. That's a great bit of traction purchase from the McLaren out of turn 5. You know, the Porsche not a quick car down the straight either. Very good through the corners. But the McLaren having to defend Edwards. Feeling the need to defend through turn number 7. Up towards 8 and the bridge. Milden. Oh, he does have a quick nose. Backs out of it. Knows that he's never going to do that. But it's probably cost him a bit of time as well. Because he's had to go off the line and back onto it. He's cost him some time. Probably would have been better off just sitting behind the McLaren and trying to get a run onto the bridge. Ready for this final section of corners. That's your gap. We're on lap 16. Hill is pushing that BMW as fast as he can right now. No, he just runs a bit wide, almost into the barrier there. Tomkinson a 2081, a 2080. This is not quick enough from Hill to catch the Mercedes. Meanwhile, Milden is trying again on Edwards. Down the main straight we go. The Coca-Cola Porsche again not with the straight line speed. As they head into St-Croix. First turn for the penultimate time. Not a great exit though from Edwards this time around, and Milden should, well you say in theory should, but they're going to go toe to toe into the S's through the compression. The Porsche just about nips in front. So Milden up into 4th, and now he's going to hope that he can pull away enough through the corners that the McLaren won't be a threat in a straight line. It looks like he's probably going to do that because the McLaren's struggling for traction. Just a touch out of turn 5. Meanwhile, Hancock's just got company now. He's got Call behind him. Goes through. I think Hancock knows he probably wasn't going to keep that car behind him. He's on medium tyres, so it's fair to say he was never going to have the grip as Hardy goes wide, and this is going to allow Dean Milden to have the run, and Dean Milden takes the place over the bridge. There is McEwen, Clements, Piper. I think Piper just hit the wall there. There's Ross. This is an interesting battle near the back. We have had a retirement. Looks like Ellis. Ellis is retired. But it looks like we're going to go 3 wide. Hogan making this 3 wide between Ross and Friedman. Down towards turn 7. Something's going to give. Hogan backs out of it from the middle. Friedman ends up rubbing the barriers and Ross rubbing him. Hogan moves up into 4th place, into the bridge. Fortunately, Brian Ross losing out there. He is on older super softs. But it looks like Hogan looking to get a move sorted here on the Coca-Cola Porsche of Will Friedman. They are on a fair way behind the leaders. Leaders just coming into turn 7, just before the bridge section. There is Tomkinson. Hill's not going to catch him. Adams alone. Just cycling through the grid, and yeah, everyone's just spread out. Apart from this lot, Will Friedman has managed to build a gap to Hogan, and Brian Ross is going to look to possibly make the move. He looks into turn 1. Lexus versus Mazda. Not quite going to work. Through the S's, and Hogan just pulling away through that section. Looks like the Lexus not very happy through there. But we're going to swap the leaders, because they are about to come around the 14th and final corner for the final time here in the endurance race, the last endurance race of season 6. And it's going to be the number 44 Mercedes, the AMG man of Nathan Tompkinson, who takes the win at St-Croix for the endurance race. He'll start last for the sprint. Jake Hill comes home a well-driven second in the Jägermeister BMW. Rob Adams, 3rd place for the Trackaddict team, with Ben Milden in 4th. He'll be happy with that result. Probably not the best track for the Porsche because of the long straights. Lewis Edwards comes home with a top 5 with a nice little recovery to 6th place. Hancock's will take 7th with Dean Milden 8th, Jay Hardy in 9th. Liam McEwen will get a top 10 result. He'll finish in 10th place. Clements, what could have been type of day, unfortunately got spun around, and it puts him 11th in the pack. Adam Piper will finish 12th in the number 99 Golf McLaren at 650S. Will Friedman is going to get a 13th here if he doesn't make the mistake through the final corner. As he goes into it. Yeah, no problem there. 13th for Will Friedman. There's a result there. Jordan Hogan in the number 7 Mazda. Oh, as Ross just has a little bit of a moment through the last corner. Hogan gets 14th. Ross will take 15th, and Ellis retired.